Alright, I'm cooking in someone else's kitchen and I don't have access to my giant spice cabinet. So, how do you create amazing flavors by only using fresh ingredients and good technique? Check this out. Next to salt, burning things is the best way to add flavor through a process called the Maillard reaction. Named after the way ducks come back from winter migration, duck communities will meet and small talk about how warm the weather's getting, messing up their formations in the process, and creating new flavors like caramel and fried meat. Wait, what do you mean it's pronounced Maillard? Anyway, to test this out, we're going to make the same dish twice. I'm going to roast the ingredients for one tomato sauce over an open flame to get some nice char marks, then toss it all in a pot to simmer. Right next to it, we'll add the exact same ingredients completely raw to check out how the flavors develop. Here's a trick when you want to slow cook on a barbecue that you don't trust. Toss in an oven-safe bowl or pot of hot water and check on it a few minutes later. If you have little bubbles, you're around 212 Fahrenheit. Lots of bubbles would be warmer. We're going to slap some completely unseasoned chicken on the grill to slow roast over flame, and then throw some other unseasoned chicken to slow roast in our unroasted tomato sauce. We'll give this 90 minutes on low to break down what we need to break down. The barbecue chicken looks good, but we need a touch more Maillard crust over high heat. This looks better. Keeping in mind we had no oil or other seasonings, this color is all science. We'll get our chicken and sauces out on a plate and serve it along with some cinnamon mashed cassava and gallo pinto. The flavor might be good, but we'll win no awards for presentation.
So we finished our experiment. We have our barbecue chicken on the right and we have our boiled chicken on the left. So, to compare, and yes, I'm going to eat off two people's plates. They signed a waiver, don't worry. Never participated in any of my experiments. Starting with the boiled chicken, it is peeled right off the bone. Now, this has been boiling. We essentially made like a tomato chicken soup. This has been boiling for about an hour and a half, so the meat's extremely tender, but it does run the risk of being overcooked. You can see that it just sort of flakes off here. I don't know if you can pick that up on the camera. As far as the taste goes, because this has been simmering inside the sauce for that entire time, all right, I was prepared for that to be dry and overcooked. That's actually really, really juicy, tender, and flavorful. So texture-wise, it's still juicy, but it's just like a one-dimensional sort of soft. It doesn't have the crunch that you would expect from a barbecued meat, but flavor profile, there's nothing wrong with that. If we move over to the barbecue, so this has been slow roasted for about an hour and 20 minutes or so, and then cranked up to about 300 Fahrenheit for 5 minutes on each side to make sure we get that nice big crust. So we should have a comparable flaky, peel off the bone texture chicken, just like that, but this has no seasoning whatsoever. It's just been cooked over an open flame. So we have the residual tomato sauce that we poured on top of it for that extra flavor, but to taste the meat. So where the boiled chicken has a more complex taste because of the sauce that's been embedded into it, the slow roasted Maillard reaction chicken has a more complex chicken flavor associated with it. We didn't even salt or pepper this bird before it went on the barbecue, and it tastes phenomenal just the way that it is. To compare the sauces, because the sauce that went with the barbecue chicken, we did put on the barbecue on high heat to give it a roast. We roasted the garlic, we roasted the jalapeno, we roasted the onion, we roasted the tomato. Everything that is in this sauce did undergo some level of Maillard reaction. So if we just scoop a little bit of sauce on the fork here. I mean, the jalapeno does have a bit of a kick to it. In terms of the overall complexity of the sauce, because we just gave it a quick kiss on the flame and then finished it off on the oven, it's just like a nice homemade tomato sauce. There isn't anything over the top about it. There are things that we could have done to make it better. It's still good. If we move over to the slow roasted sauce, now you can see the difference where this one's very, very, very orange and this one kind of crosses into that pink territory. That's because the juices of the chicken flowed into the sauce as it was slow cooked over the stove. So because the house is just breaking, don't worry about that. So because this sauce was simmered with the chicken and all the chicken juices flowed into it, it does have that extra layer of flavor that's missing in this other sauce. So to compare the two techniques, because this is just a testament to what you can accomplish through cooking technique alone, using very, very simple ingredients. We didn't use any spices. I didn't even put cilantro on this. We have some phenomenal flavor coming through the chicken by allowing it to stew inside that tomato sauce, and it paired really, really well by offering some of that flavor back to the sauce. Whereas To just roast and cook the sauce on its own, it doesn't have that interaction with the chicken to create those deeper flavors. And while the chicken on its own is phenomenal and it does go really well with the sauce to eat the two together, the chicken could be spruced up a little bit more with that tomato sauce marinade. So if you were doing this on your own, there is points for marinating the chicken ahead of time. You can get that flavor seeped in, and then you can still roast it over the barbecue. You don't need to slow cook it for as long as I did. Or there's also nothing wrong with braising the chicken ahead of time and then adding it into the sauce to slow cook and introduce those flavors together. You can combine the two. I just wanted to showcase what the difference is if you kept the two completely separate. But the moral of the story is, either way, these are delicious plates. I'm about to eat them. I'm going to eat one. I'm going to eat one and I'm going to give someone else the other one, even though I've eaten off both. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you next time.